Welcome, everybody, to Lyndhurst Community News. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd already. My goodness, where has the summer gone? My name's Brian Haggerty, and here is what's happening around our township. Okay, so Mayor Robert Giangiarusso and the Board of Commissioners invite the public to join them in a solemn tribute for the 22nd anniversary of 9/11, which will be held on Monday, September 11th at 11 a.m. The ceremony will take place at the 9/11 Memorial in our Township Park on Delafield Avenue. The service will commemorate those who lost their lives on that fateful day. Speaking at the ceremony will be Assemblyman Gary Scheer. Also, the township would like to remind everyone that if you are disposing of a mattress at the curbside, it must, via health laws, be placed in a plastic mattress bag. Now, those bags can be bought on Amazon. I believe they're also available at Lowe's and Home Depot. And also, please remember that our local health ordinances require that trash bags left at the curb must be placed in a receptacle, and the receptacle must also have a lid. This is to assure that wild animals do not tear the bags open and cause the garbage to fall out onto the street. The Lyndhurst Elks is having its second annual school supply drive-through on Monday, August 28th, between 6 and 7 p.m. You can drive through the parking lot and pick up free school supplies as well as others. The Lyndhurst Elks is located at 251 Park Avenue. The Elks are also hosting a Tools for Teachers, which includes free teacher supplies and Teacher Appreciation Happy Hour on Tuesday, September 5th from 3 to 6 p.m. at their hall, again at 251 Park Avenue. So if you have young students and if you have anybody, if you are a teacher, if you have teachers in your family, make sure you let them know. I think most people don't realize that teachers buy most of their supplies and have to pay for it out of their own pocket. So this is a wonderful service that they are giving to our teachers here in this community. So pass the word along. And more news from the Elks. They are hosting a fun night of Texas Holdem Poker on September 23rd. Now, there's going to be a $5,000 prize pool. Now, that's based upon 75 players. There is a $100 buy-in, which is 5,000 chips, as well as rebuys and add-ons. There's a buffet dinner included with wine, beer, and sodas, and coffee. There's also a cash bar if you want another drink. You may sign up online, and if you do so, if you sign up at least 48 hours beforehand, you will receive a 500-chip bonus. You can pay with cash, PayPal, and the check-in that night is dinner at 6 p.m. Now, I'm going to leave a link to register in the description box below, so don't worry about running to get your pad and your paper. All right, now, this is a little far out, but I just want to get the word out there because this is for a very good cause. There will be a beefsteak dinner on Columbus Day, which is Thursday, October 12th at the Lyndhurst Senior Center at 250 Cleveland Avenue. And this is being held by CBH Care. And all the proceeds will go to benefit the Peter Skirbo Scholarship Fund. Now, it's going to be a great night, and we're going to have a comedy team there. Comedy will be, Gina D will be there doing her stand-up, as well as Laz Vick. There will be a cigar roller on hand, a 50-50 raffle, and, of course, Vinny Mutz, I believe, is making his mutz there as well. Now, CBH Care offers a full spectrum of behavioral health services, family support services, and mental health services to help you get the treatment that you need. CBH Care believes that everybody deserves health and happiness, but they also know that sometimes there are obstacles standing in the way. Those obstacles can include depression, anxiety, and any other life transitions. Whatever it may be, CBH Care wants to remind you that no challenge is too great to overcome. So I will leave the link in the description box below if you're interested in signing up. The tickets are $75, and that, of course, includes beer, wine, and soda. Okay. Now, being that it's a rather slow news week this week, I'm going to spotlight a very new and interesting business in town called Jyoti Yoga and Healing. It's located at 333 Valley Brook Avenue. Julia, the owner, and I met at the Lyndhurst Merchants Association reorganization meeting held at Vinnie Mutz's the other week. As I had mentioned in last week's episode, we're putting the Merchants Association back together again in order to help our local businesses grow, to be recognized, as well as to assist one another in finding solutions to shared small business issues, and, of course, to give back to the community. Doing these spotlights on this local businesses is a way to introduce to you all of the various businesses which are in town, which you may not have heard about. Now, yoga and sound healing is certainly unfamiliar to many, but it has grown in Western countries tremendously over the past decade. In fact, what most people do not know is that most major corporations, such as Google and Apple and many others, have added this, including mindfulness and meditation. They've added these rooms in their offices for their employees. They do this because scientific studies have shown how it reduces stress, it lowers blood pressure, and it increases productivity and employee morale. So I visited with Julia at her studio to find out more about her venture. And let me see here. Let me bring it up. Okay, this is the new thing. By the way, if you missed last week's episode, I interviewed Coach Richie Tuero of the Lyndhurst High School football coach, as well as 3 of the football players. And this is a new thing where I go out to the field, do some interviews, and play them here during the show. And I'm going to switch over right now to the interview that was recorded on site at Jyoti Yoga and Healing. So here we go. All right, where is it? Hold on one second. I forgot. I lowered the volume on the track. Okay. We'll bring that back up again. See, when you're your own studio engineer, folks, this is what's happening. Okay, here we go. Okay, we are live on site here, and I'm here with Julia, who is the owner of Jyoti. And the full name is Jyoti what?
Jyoti Yoga and Healing.
Jyoti Yoga and Healing. Okay. So, Julia, tell us a little bit about what you do and let the residents of Lyndhurst know where you are and what other services you provide.
Sure. Wonderful. I'm so super excited to share about our facility. We are an integrative wellness group, and I specialize in Ayurvedic therapy, sound therapy, yoga therapy, and somatic experiencing, which is a modality that works with trauma in the body. So I would call myself an integrative somatic specialist. And it depends on, what people come in with, and we can tailor your program specifically for you. I like to start out with a very detailed intake to see your lifestyle, to see your dietary habits, all kinds of things, because all of that contributes to our overall wellness. And then we can see what we can tune from that part and then move into the body part, right? And using whatever other modalities that I have, including energy healing and Reiki, to work on getting the body back to balance. And we do have group classes also. Thursday nights, we do group yoga classes at 6:30. Every third Wednesday or so of the month, we do group sound healing events here as well. And now that we're growing and more daytime availability, nighttime stuff, so we'll be putting on a lot more group stuff and private things too.
All right. That's very, very exciting. And I'm sure that's a lot of new information for many of my listeners here in town. It was several years ago, it would have been new information for me. But what I've noticed is that really in the last decade, and definitely in the past several years, there's more places such as yours that seem to be popping up. Meditation is becoming more common. As a matter of fact, what most people don't know is that major U.S. corporations now incorporate and build meditation rooms in their office space, and they provide it free of charge to their employees, because what they have found is that it actually increases productivity, it raises morale, and it also keeps people healthier. Now, so what are some of the things, because I know this isn't necessarily meditation in the traditional sense, but I consider it a form of meditation. How would you say they are similar, or how are they also different?
Sure. to me, meditation doesn't really need to be sitting down and trying to be quiet for, 5 minutes to 5 hours, whatever, a person chooses to do. To me, meditation is being in the moment completely. And everything that we're doing here through our practices prepares you for that. We invite a person to come back into themselves, come back into their bodies. Many of us are very disconnected from our bodies, right? For many reasons, right? Whether it's trauma reasons, whether it's just we're so busy and so have never paid attention to our physical form. And so my goal is to help you live a meditative life, right? To be mindful, to be present for everything that shows up in your life, because we were just talking about this yesterday with some of our friends. It's very easy to be in meditation, or I call it to be enlightened, when nobody's bothering you, right? on your yoga mat and in the studio, in the beautiful space. But when you are out there in traffic or trying to work or whatever is happening, how do we embody our life in the more of that presence, in the more of that meditative state where we're not so agitated, which is so common nowadays. I mean, from a moment you wake up, you're bombarded with things. So how do you live your life in the more of a meditative state?
That's excellent. And that's very true. And I believe that we live in a world, unfortunately, where most people are paralyzed by fears and anxieties. And that's why it helps you really connect with your own mind and your own thoughts, and to discover the source of why do I have these fears and anxieties and the effect that they are having on me. And that's what meditation did for me. And I've been doing it for about 5 years. If you asked me 10 years ago if I was going to meditate, I would have laughed at you, because I thought meditation was wearing a robe, sandals, growing a beard, long hair, burning incense and chanting, and sitting in a lotus position that this body of mine could never get into. But then when I did my research and got to know a few people who were actually doing it, yes, it's wonderful. But I'm with you on that part. I feel I live a very peaceful life until I get behind the wheel of a car. And I think everybody can vouch for that.
Everybody can vouch for that. But it's that moment where, right before you're ready to pounce, if you can find a way to pause right there and notice, what is that going to really do? Exactly what I had begun to do to overcome that, because that was really the only area of my life left that I would say was stressful, is when I get behind the wheel of a car. So every other part of it is completely peaceful and wonderful and fulfilled. So anyway, Julia, tell the listening audience where you are and how they can get a hold of you. Sure. We are located at 333 Valley Brook Avenue here in Lyndhurst. You can either email me at Julia, Julia, at Jyoti Yoga Healing, JYOTIYOGAHEALING.com, or go to our website, the same, JyotiYogaHealing.com, or you can leave me a voicemail or text message at 862-414-1043.
Good. And as I always do, I always tell my listeners, you don't have to run and grab a pen and paper. I leave all the contact information in the description box below. Okay, well, Julia, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this, getting to know about your business, and I certainly hope our listeners will consider giving you a call and giving you a try and exploring the wonderful world of healing yoga and energy sound frequencies. And I never believed I would be saying something like that, but I am, and I think it does a world of good. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. Back to myself in the studio now. Okay, here we are, back in the studio. And now I'm going to be doing more of these business spotlights. I love doing it. I love highlighting and introducing these local businesses where how many of us would even know they existed unless somebody tells us about them. That's why local community news is so important. So stay tuned for more. And again, as I said, all of Jyoti's information will be in the description box below. All right, now a birthday of note we have tomorrow, August 24th. Join me in wishing our former mayor and former state senator, Anthony Scardino, a warm, healthy, and happy 87th birthday. Truly an amazing man whose youth, vigor, and vitality is an inspiration to all of us. In fact, we all want to know what his secret is. But I know what the secret is. The secret is you're only as old as you feel. And when you have peace, joy, happiness, and youthfulness in you, it expresses itself in our physical body. So happy birthday, Mr. Scardino. In fact, it was only a few weeks ago where Mr. and Mrs. Scardino celebrated their 60th anniversary. So we're shouting out a very warm blessing to you for your birthday tomorrow. Okay, and that's the news this week. Labor Day is around the corner. Do you believe that? Where did the summer go? I always say that the summer is over after July 4th. It just seems that way. So it's going to be, before we know it, the holidays will be around here again. So time is flying, and another summer is on the books. And don't forget that the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Mobile Unit will be in town on Tuesday, August 29th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Little League Field on Riverside Avenue. Oh, excuse me. And always remember to check your smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector batteries. Be sure they are always working so they can save your life and the life of your families. And get to know your neighbors and let us continue to build our community. After all, a community is not its roads, houses, and buildings. A community is its people. So until next week, this is Brian Haggerty reminding you to email all of your news from your club, organization, school, sport, church, and birthdays and anniversaries of note to LyndhurstCommunityNews at gmail.com for inclusion in our weekly podcast. I'll see you all next week, next Wednesday, for episode 21 of Lyndhurst Community News. Have a great week, everybody, and God bless you.